Happy February. You guys made it. So, what I want to talk to you guys really quickly about is the theme, the shadow card that's going on right here. I don't know if everybody's feeling this way, but this is now the second theme card that I've seen. If it's just backbreaking, pain in the back, sometimes January passes and we get our, we get our credit card bills from Christmas and our resolutions fall through and we just feel like, oh my God, responsibility is back, Christmas is over, holidays are over, we can't even say Happy New Year anymore. Good thing is we have the Lunar New Year that just passed. That's fun, and it's a really fiery one, so a lot of action. If you find that when you're going out, people are more hot-headed than usual, blame it on the Lunar New Year and don't take it personally. So I'm going to get started here. I'm just going to give this a little bit more of a shuffle because it feels right. I've been working a lot with Archangel Metatron, so that might be why you guys are seeing some like orbs around. I also have something in my window, but I feel his presence a lot recently because I've been calling on him a lot more. I hope he's not annoyed or anything. But I'm going to get started. So, the situation for February 2017 for Aries, okay? So, giving. Really, this is a month to start giving back, to start realizing, yeah, like I said, the stress and the struggle of January past, now on to February, it's might feel like a prick to give back, might kind of feel hard to be giving to other people, especially giving to yourself, but you guys aren't balanced right now, and it's really time to use that as kind of a ticket, as a cue to realize that something is lacking in your life. And when we're lacking something in our lives, naturally we want to try and find something to fill that void. But actually it's the other way around that works. When we feel like we're lacking something in our lives, what is the most powerful thing that we can do is to give. Because when it completely changes our perspective. How can you give if you're lacking? So it just tricks your mind into being like, well, I'm not really lacking if I have something to give. And then you lose that feeling of lack. You actually feel completely abundant. So I really urge you guys to put your hand out if you need the help, or to put your hand out to help others, to lift other people up. Give. If you're in the situation, even if you're not, especially if you're not in the position to give because it'll feel amazing. Give like it's responsibility. And when you give, that might go against what your feelings are, what your emotions are, where you're at in life, where your pride is. It might feel like you don't have enough to give, but like I said, take a step back and realize that there's more than enough. Aries are pretty compulsive. They buy really quickly, so I'm sure that there's tons of stuff that you can purge. I actually was just at Value Village the other day and I picked up Marie Kondo's The Something About Giving. The art of decluttering your space, something like that. I'm so sorry. I will find out. But it's essentially a book about only picking up things that give you joy. And I'm sure you guys have heard this before. But instead of going through your closet and thinking about what I can get rid of, go through your closet and realize, I love this shirt. This shirt gave me this experience, gave me this, blah, 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 blah. So pull out things that give you joy and keep those, and then the rest get rid of, instead of just pulling out the things that you want to get rid of. Because then when you look at the things that you have, it's only going to make you happy. Everything that you have are things that are sparking joy in you. So try it. It could really change your life around. I'm definitely going to give it a try this month, especially because I feel like it's totally a purge month. You bring in a lot of stuff for Christmas. You get a lot of new knickknacks and toys, but when does the old stuff go out, right? We can feel so bound to these items, to this stuff, that we can't even breathe. I have some hoarder friends where their lives are just collapsing in on them with stuff. They keep buying to fill these voids, right? But it's only when you start to give back that you recognize that there was no void. There was absolutely no void. It was only just this idea of a void. So I'm not going to preach too much because I'm not feeling 100%. So just maybe give back. Try it, just try it. Subconsciously, here's the card again, subconsciously feeling pain in the back, feeling kind of sluggish, responsibilities back on, something new that would have came in, because there's going to be a lot of newness this year. I'm happy to report that, but sometimes the newness isn't the new that we want, and it doesn't come to us in the form that we want. recognize that everything happens for a reason. You know, I've been getting some new negative comments, you know, like new negative comments that have just, my energy, my ego just squat right down here, like can't even get out of bed, just so heartbroken about it, until I recognize that, oh, those negative comments are just as powerful, important as the positive ones, because everything is propelling me on the path that I'm meant to be on. So anything that is coming into your life right now that is new, that is backbreaking, that's a bitch, that's bothering you, recognize that we chose these obstacles in order to help us grow. And that's what I'm really starting to recognize and realize. I go through my life with this aspect and with this idea that everything is supposed to be hunky-dory, and then I kind of block off all the negative, but it's only until, and that's when negative comes in, I'm completely depressed because I'm not used to it. I'm not desensitized to it in a way. So it's only when we embrace the negative and bring it into our lives, we're able to take control and own it and recognize, like, yeah, that's negative, but it's not my negative. You know, that's your negative that you're projecting onto me. I'm not accepting it. I'll recognize it as part of my path, but I'm not accepting it. So if something is really pain in the ass, a lot of times this has something to do with a relationship or a partnership. If something's really been a pain in your back, recognize it for what it is and try and see the good in it. Try and see what possible good could come from it. Even if it's just one thing, let your imagination run with that one thing, okay? Oh, car accident, but at least it slowed me down. You know, at least now I'm gonna get a new car, you know, and my car was crappy, or at least now nobody got hurt. You know, things like that. There's always something to be grateful for, okay? So thinking something new, new thought process when it comes to your sense of empowerment, your sense of self-worth, your money, what's grounding you, what investments you're making. Definitely a new sense of mentality there. That's what you're thinking. You're thinking that, you know, you're like a young buck out in the big world, but that's not the case. You know what you're doing still. Even though 2017 has these new energies, February has some new energies, January was, you know, crazy for new beginnings. Recognize that you are totally and 100% capable. You're not, and if you feel young and like inexperienced, take that as a cue to go and educate yourself. And a lot of times people think education, money. You know, there are tons of free classes at libraries. There's tons upon tons of information online that can help with your financial situation. Because if you're feeling like you can't give because of lack, a lot of times it's just changing your frame of mind. And sometimes changing your frame of mind is just by building up your confidence, by going to, you know, seminars or workshops that are motivating, that just remind you that you know it all. You know, that's just what a lot of these workshops do, is just remind us what we already know. And that's when we're able to say, they're right, because we already knew it. So they're right, because we're right. Right? So something that would have just immediately passed, feeling taken from, feeling like I said, when I told you guys that you have to give more, you're like, I've already given so much, I'm being taken advantage of. That's past. Recognize that when we give from a place of abundance, there is no feelings of taken too much from. Those feelings don't exist, because you're not giving with the idea of getting something back. You're giving freely, so it doesn't matter if someone recognizes what you gave them. It doesn't matter if you feel taken advantage of. It's really just recognizing that, yeah, I can give because I have more than enough to give. If you're not going to appreciate that, pay it forward. If you're not going to even, you know, be grateful for it, then that's your prerogative. I'm still going to give, okay? So future card, like I said, feeling like, you know, you gave too much, feeling like your money is so fragile, it's so important to you, it's, you know, not the most that it could be, not where you want it to be, and because of that you don't want to give. Recognize that it may feel, like I said, that people are taking from you, but there is a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow. You know, like there is good in that. If someone's going to take from you and, you know, smirk about it and feel good about it, and you feel horrible about it, and they don't even care, that's on them. You don't need to have that rain gray cloud over your head, you know, by forming resentments, because like everybody says, resentment is just like drinking a poison and hoping the other person dies. It's not going to help your case. recognize these things, put up your boundaries, recognize that, you know, someone's taking from you and they shouldn't be, and you work hard for what you have, and you know, you're already such a giving person. Recognize that and maybe put up some boundaries and say, listen, like, instead of giving to you because you don't even appreciate it, I'm going to give my time, energy, effort, money, whatever, to a place where it's going to be used better and actually utilized instead of from a jealous, greedy place, you know? So you right now, there's a change coming, and I'm sure you guys have felt it already. The newness of life, you know, just getting bogged down, feeling really stagnated, sorry. There is a change coming, but the only way to embrace that change is to let go of the ego. You know, the ego always says, oh, well, change is bad. Ego does not like change. Your spirit recognizes that everything is changing. Everything is literally changing. We are not the same person that we were even just a minute, a second ago. Everything is fluid. So recognize that change is exactly what is needed for growth, okay? There's no need to be afraid of it. There's no need to shun away from it. Embrace it. Who knows what's going to come about it, right? Friends and family, there's definitely a lot of strength there in the relationships that you have with your friends and family. So use that as a source of inspiration. Use that as a source of abundance. Sometimes, you know, I'm feeling that maybe because you guys have to give more and your family and friends are completely abundant and doing well and they're happy for you and they kind of feel like they have everything figured out, maybe come together with your family and friends to give. Is that something that's possible for you, to get together with family and friends and, you know, and go and donate or do something amazing like that shows the younger generations what amazing feeling it is to actually give freely and generously? That might really change the relationship for you. That might really change the family and friends and the atmosphere there, because like I said, we are so blessed. We have so much to give, but a lot of times we feel like we shouldn't be giving because when will it end, you know? And that is a blocker right in its own self, because if we're saying when does it end, that's exactly what the universe is saying to us too. Well, you know what? Oh, you're asking so much, when does it end? You know, and that's not how the universe wants to give. The universe wants to give freely, so we have to have that same attitude. You know, we allow the universe to work through us, so have the same attitude that we want the universe to have on us, okay? So, hopes and fears is keeping you up at night, conflict, emotional conflicts, the ending that did happen in 2016 with the new beginnings that came. Of course, there was an ending, because without an ending, there are no new beginnings, and this is quite the beginning. Energy being in 2017 and also January that just passed. So if that new beginning had to end something for you and it's bothering you, I'm sorry, but try to recognize that everything happens for a reason, okay? That's pretty much the only advice I can give you. Just keep going. Keep going. Recognize the emotions. If you want to have a day of crying, do it. Who's judging you? You know, people expect to be happy all the time. The only thing that I ask is don't spread it. You know, if you're going to be in a depressed, whatever, low state, try and stay in bed. Try and literally give yourself a day at home of rest where you're not going out and spreading that. Because a lot of the times it's when you go out and spread it and you meet people with that attitude and they're going to force it right back onto you, and negativity can grow like a weed, but positivity is way stronger. So try and contain it to the house. You know, try and contain it to the bed and let it out. It's not a bad thing to cry. I feel like I say that a lot in my videos because I feel like I have to undo generation and generation of media and conditioning and stereotyping that says, especially males, boys can't cry. Don't cry. Don't get upset. Oh, what's wrong? No, what's good? I'm crying. I'm purging. I'm cleansing. When it rains, it's beautiful after it rains. That's how the flowers come out. So just, if you want to cry, if you want to let it out, please, I urge you to do that. I had my day yesterday where I just said, it's not my day. And I just cried all day and I vented about it to girlfriends, but then stopped it there. You know, just one girlfriend who, this is how I'm feeling. Let's talk about it. I feel better. Now let's try it. You know what I mean? Instead of saying, no, I'm upset and I'm staying in this mood and you should be upset too. And no, but listen, you gotta get on my side. Instead, take the advice. When people are giving love and trying to change your feelings around, that is the purest and most incredible act of love that you can accept. So all they want is for you to be happy. Well, let's give it to them. Let's say, okay, no, girl, I'm sad and upset today, but thank you so much. I really appreciate you being there to talk to me. Not, you know what, leave me alone. You know what I mean? So just recognize that we can be upset, we can vent, we can complain, of course, as long as we're undoing it going forward, as long as we allow it to stay in one spot and we don't bring it forward. It doesn't have to stay on our back like a nagging whatever, you know? So that's my spiel. Last card, outcome for February 2017 for Aries. Moving on, just like the Geminis, moving on from something, moving on from this idea that, you know, you have to hold on to your money so tightly and look at it like it's this amazing thing, and having this fear that people are going to just take from you. The more you make, the more people take. Move away from that. Move away from that idea. Build a bridge and get over it, because there's so much more to life than worrying about who's taking from you, where you gave this, where you blah blah blah. Trying to keep up with that, and it's keeping you up at night. You fear that you're giving too much, but you hope that you can give. It's quite the struggle. I completely understand that. March will be better. You know, the skies are really crazy right now. It's been hectic, and I know that everybody's been feeling crazy and feeling very overwhelmed and feeling like a pain in the back, but it is getting better. Just maintain the positivity, maintain the focus, and give freely, give generously. And I hope you guys have an amazing February. I will see you guys in March. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. Thank you so much for all of your support, comments, likes, and shares. I so much appreciate it. This has been such an incredible, fun experience for me that I really want to keep going, and I plan on to keep going. So keep watching, and I'll keep posting. Love you guys. Bye.